kind of like one of the premier sources of anti-psychedelic journalism.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Again, anti-psychedelic shrouded in sort of social justice type concerns, because this is, we were talking about like the scientistic orientation of drug scares in the 90s that shifted in the 21st century to a moralistic orientation. So now if you want to scare people away from using MDMA, you don't say, hey, it's going to make holes in your brain. You say, hey, this is a tool of capitalist oligarchs who are trying to commodify your spirit and make you a more efficient worker while funding the genocide in Gaza.
Right.
Right. And creating super soldiers. And this is a tool of the imperialist American war machine. Right. And so this is the new, and people say, oh, okay. Oh, you're right then. MDMA is bad. Thank you so much for telling me this important information. So it's important to recognize that the anti-drug messaging evolves with the culture and what the culture wants. In the 90s, they wanted medico-scientistic explanations for why not to use drugs. Now it's about moralistic explanations for why drugs are bad. So why don't you use cocaine? It's not because there was a rat with a lever and he pushed that darn lever until he died, and you don't want to end up like that rat. That's what you'd say in the 80s or 90s. Now it's like, so you want to participate in the exploitation of Latin American workers who could be enslaved by the cartel, and you're going to get high off of this blood money, this product. When of course all this is a product of prohibition, and, and this whole idea, this is one of the issues with moralism and with scientism, is that they can both obscure the real issues, right? That's not to say that there aren't actual moral concerns with certain types of drug consumption, but moralism has been weaponized very effectively by commercial interests and by government interests, right? You even see this now with like the White House Twitter page, right? And they do that like weird cartoon of the crying woman, and it's like very, you see this?
I haven't seen this.
It's like kind of, it's like this, there's like an ice on
their Twitter, the White House Twitter page?
The White House Twitter page has an image of like an ICE person arresting a crying Mexican woman, and it's like it's like a very superficially inhumane, creepy image, and you look at it and you think, ooh, that's kind of an odd look, like arresting a crying woman, like what is going on here? But then it's like, well, this is a fentanyl dealer, and then you say, oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's
a fentanyl dealer.
It's a fentanyl dealer. Okay, it's a fentanyl dealer. Okay, yes. And again, the point here I'm not saying is that fentanyl is always good, but by using the word fentanyl, suddenly you can completely change the interpretation of an image that would immediately be recognized as sort of unsettling and inhumane.
Right.
And these things are weaponized very, very effectively, and it's important to recognize them and see how they have become tools, right? I did this thing for my podcast where I covered a trial in the DEA headquarters, which was oriented around prohibiting two obscure psychedelics, so obscure that they, for one of them, were not able to provide any peer-reviewed scientific evidence that a human being had ever consumed it, right? So we're talking insanely fucking obscure.
When was this?
This was recently. This was like maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay.
I covered the entire trial. So it was a 2-week trial, and it was like a group of scientists who were petitioning the DEA not to prohibit this extremely obscure scientific research chemical called DOI.
Okay.
And what I saw going to DEA headquarters every day for this hearing was up close and personal the entire propaganda mechanism at play, right? You walk through this lobby and it's like faces of fentanyl, faces of that, and
really,
yeah, and it's all these photos, and I was looking through them and thinking, this is interesting, faces of fentanyl, and then I'm looking and it's like really, really old people. So it will be like Janice taken by fentanyl, age 87 or something. I'm thinking like, what's the story with Janice? There's no, how did Janice die of a fentanyl overdose? But there's no context. Then I looked at the website and realized that this is like, you can just submit random shit. There's no verification of anything. These are just things that have been submitted, and that there was even someone, a mother whose son was used in this campaign without her understanding. So it's like right off the bat, you're being hit with a literal wall of propaganda that is all oriented. They have a golden fentanyl chandelier in the office.
Is this the hallway?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Jesus, dude. Whoa, look at that. Look at the one with the on the very left, very bottom left, Steve.
Yeah, that's it.
Bizarre.
That's exactly what I'm referring to. Forever. So then there's like Forever 2, Forever 88. Anyway, as you can see, this is just very, I'm not saying people don't die from fentanyl. Obviously they do. But this is also, without question, propaganda that is neglecting to recognize the real reason that people are dying of fentanyl overdoses, which is prohibition and a lack of regulation of the drug market, where people are driven to use completely unregulated, uncontrolled black market substances that might be contaminated with fentanyl. And with fentanyl, it's actually like amazing that this is their chosen propaganda tool, because it's the worst possible example. This is a drug that most people don't even want to do, right? They've surveyed people and said, do you want to use fentanyl? The majority of people don't want to use fentanyl. So how lucky for the government. You have a substance that people don't even want to do, and yet this is a problem. Well, then you have to ask yourself, how did we develop a problem with people using a drug that they don't want to use?
Right. My fellow men, if you've lost your hair,